Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a TWitWoW.
yes, okay. All right. Welcome to TWitWoW. No, fuck it. It's Lucha Underground, guys. That's why.
No, you gotta do the intro. Everyone loves the intro. Do the intro.
Well, I mean, I've been totally caught up. Okay. Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton, and this is our Lucha Underground review. And folks, if an episode allows us to trip over each other and trample over each other, that's how you know it was good. There is so much energy in this room just with how amazing Lucha Underground was that we're all just excited to talk about it and get our piece in. So I'm going to keep my words succinct. I thought it was fucking fantastic. I'll go more in depth actually with the actual review. Ashton, what do you think about Lucha Underground last night?
Yeah, man, Lucha Underground was awesome last night. As per usual, this season's really picked up the last 2 episodes and this episode. So we're on a 3-episode streak now. And based on the momentum this show has, I don't see it letting up anytime soon, brother.
I mean, brother, I would never want to speak for you, but for me, this was easily the best episode of the season. And yes, it's colored by bias to a degree because I'm such a huge Marty the Moth fan. But I just thought the way they set all of this up, even getting around the narrative mechanisms of Gift of the Gods, because of how Marty conducted his business, it was all done so well. I freaking love this show. I can't wait for its future now because I know we only have a few episodes left of this season. And just to know that Marty's kind of in position the way that he has been in the company, I think it could be a very exciting time for LU. So with that said, I've got no other preliminary remarks to make. Do you?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. So I think we can probably get into our actual review.
All right, man. Then let us get right into our Lucha Underground review. And how do we open this baby up?
All right, well, let me open this thing up with obviously a recap, as usual. We do the recap. And then once we actually kick back into the temple, Matt Stryker talks about how this is an episode that would be a pay-per-view for any other company, but we're giving it to you for free. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then our first match of the night, Phoenix versus Aerostar.
Dude, you have to go first on this. I think you're really digging Dark Phoenix. I'm not sayame that I'm not.
Yeah, dude, I love it. And I'm only referring to him as Dark Phoenix because it's just fitting with the whole X-Men lore with the Phoenix and the Dark Phoenix and stuff. But apparently Stryker is referring to him as a Black Phoenix because towards the very end of this, he actually refers to his finisher as the Black Fire Driver. So I really interested, and actually I think that might be the only reference to a Black Phoenix. I don't think he ever actually explicitly called him Black Phoenix, but I love the name for his new finisher, the Black Fire Driver. That is amazing to me because we already know he used to use the Fire Thunder Driver to win, and now it's the Black Fire Driver. That's just so cool to me. And I hope that that's the official name for that finish and not just Stryker improving, which wouldn't surprise me because he does that sometimes. But yeah, man, Phoenix opens this thing. I mean, first of all, before we even get to the ring, Phoenix is still drooling as he comes out. He's very aggressive, very physical. Aerostar up to his usual sort of evasion tactics. We get sort of I say typical at this point, but it's still amazing. Aerostar does one of those inside-out dives where he jumps up onto the middle rope from the inside of the ring and then without touching any of the other ropes, jumps over the top rope to the outside. Incredible. And even when he does that, Phoenix does almost like an Undertaker style sit up on the outside and gets control back. It was so cool. And as he gets control back on the outside too, then we get a moment where he walks around the ring because he wants to attack Aerostar from behind, which Stryker's oh, that tells you all you need to know about the new Phoenix. And as he's walking around the ring, he walks by Melissa and we get this super tense moment where he slows down and just looks at her. It was oh God, is he going to attack her right now or something? Dude, I absolutely loved this match. I love the new Phoenix. It's all good, man. It is all good. And I have more notes here, but I want to hear what you have to say so far.
I mean, dude, it's crazy to me because like it's amazing how a change in character can change everything else. Like, for example, right? When Phoenix does I'm going to run up the apron and do like a spinning kick. When he would do that as a technico, it's like, okay, you're just a really great luchador. And you're just really skilled at what you do. With this character change, it comes off so much more malicious and aggressive to me. I love it. It's like, not only am I just this skilled competitor, I'm straight up dangerous if you even look at me wrong. This was the most welcome change in 2018. Like, in any promotion, we talk about people that turned heel, people that turned face, people that whatever. Like, if there was like an award for best turn or best character development, I'd have to give it to Phoenix. Like, every box is being checked for me right now. Aerostar is obviously immensely talented in his own right. It was a really fun opener that I thought got a healthy amount of time. And just Phoenix's mannerisms, again, it takes offense that's just like, oh, that's really good, or that's like, the essence of the Lucha Libre style to, damn, this man could fuck anybody up, and I love it. And the Black Fire Driver, I'm in love. I'm in love. What a creative variant on a maneuver that starts in the Muscle Buster position, and I keep expecting him to like fall on his back, like the Muscle Buster, but no, he upgraded it. Like, that is such a sick. Do we have an award for Finisher of the Year?
No. Actually, yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, like, because that might actually be a late entry, dude.
You know what? I'll have to go see if I can find our TWitWoW Awards spreadsheet that I keep.
Yeah, that and the tweaks that Marty made to his finisher, which we'll get to that later in the show. Like, I'm loving it, man. I think two of the best finishers in the company. And again, I want to emphasize the Black Fire Driver, though. So fucking good. And like you said, just the way Phoenix conducts himself with the drooling and the vacant expression and everything. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
We do have Finisher of the Year. I just looked. We do. Yeah. So yeah. Last year, our finishers of the year went to Black Mass for me and the F5 for you. And then the year before that, I gave it to the Foxcatcher from Dante Fox, and you gave it to the Muscle Buster from Samoa Joe. So leave it to you to be like, oh yeah, this other Muscle Buster variant, it might get my finisher of the year this year.
It's just so fucking cool, man. Like, I can't help it. And then after the match, Dark Phoenix continuing the beatdown on Aerostar, who pretty much caused all this in the first place. And I like you, Aerostar, but what's deserved is what's deserved. And maybe you should think about the consequences before you perform any necromancy bullshit in the future. So as he's continuing this beatdown, you already mentioned like Melissa still trying to reach out to Phoenix, which, I mean, sis, like, he fucking shoved you last week. He's gone. I don't know what you're trying to speak out to. And then the rebound man, El Dragon Azteca Jr., he comes out to try and be like, oh, look at me protecting you, Melissa. Aren't I great boyfriend material? And what does he get for it, Ashton? Let the people know what he won.
He caught a beating. He got destroyed, Phoenix. And the thing is, like, Phoenix wasn't even beating him down because, oh, don't mess with my woman. He was beating him down because he was, like, trying to tell him what to do, and you don't fucking censor Phoenix.
Dude, right? He's like me. It turned out to 1,000. He's like, did you just tell me what to do? The fuck? And he just beat the shit out of him. Dude, it was amazing. With the Black Fire Driver just on the floor. Amazing. He beat that ass, and I was here for all of it. It was a great moment. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, Melissa's all like, oh no, they're not gonna stick it, what happened? And we come, well, actually no, I guess we'll transition to that later, but just to put a fine point on this, the match with Aerostar was great, the post-match beatdown of Azteca was great, and that was really setting the table for the rest of the calamity that happened on this show. So Ashton, if there's anything else you want to say about this particular segment, we can transition into what happened next.
Well, the thing is, I do still have notes for the match because the match was really good and Phoenix really stood out to me. I kind of left off talking about Phoenix going around the ring to get behind Aerostar, and the reason I wanted to go back to that is because the reason he did that was because he did this awesome drive-by style drop kick to the back of the head on Aerostar that looked absolutely devastating. And in the process of doing that dropkick, Phoenix landed on the apron. So it really was like a drive-by kind of thing. And then, you know, the crowd. And here was another really interesting thing that I picked up on that I want to know what you think about it. When the crowd was chanting for Aerostar, Phoenix was freaking out, dude. Like, he was like gritting his teeth. Like, he was really showing anger expressively. And he was really like, you could tell that it was really getting to him, that the crowd was chanting for the other guy. And then there was at one point, the crowd started like trying to clap to pump Aerostar up. But Phoenix was like clenching his fists, and he was like acting like he was feeding off of the energy from the crowd, even if it wasn't for him. So there's this really weird dynamic now where like part of Phoenix is still used to getting cheered and feeding off the crowd. And then another part of Phoenix is extremely bitter towards the crowd for not giving him their energy anymore. Like, it's really interesting to me.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. That's a great insight by you. I wasn't even really thinking about that. Really, what I'd like to do, if you didn't tell me before we went live, like that you took extensive notes. I want you to go through all your notes for like each segment, even if like it starts out as more general conversation. If you just want to like go through your thought process, I'd love to get inside your head for this. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. This match, I ended up taking like 9 lines worth of notes on, and we're about 4 lines in. So I'll just finish up.
Yeah.
That Phoenix eats like a half a dozen boots from Aerostar, and then and basically no sells most of them. And then basically like a sunset flip power bomb, but rather than doing a sunset flip, like jumping over the guy, Phoenix almost like cartwheels into it. It was really cool. Or Aerostar like cartwheeled into it. It was really cool. That was a 2 count. And then we got this weird moment where Phoenix like drove Aerostar up into the top turnbuckle and then got up onto the top turnbuckle facing away from Phoenix, like facing away from Aerostar, like facing the ring. And all he did was this weird like backflip or like front flipping like donkey kick thing. And it looked like it would have hurt Phoenix more than it hurt Aerostar. And then Phoenix did win with the spinning muscle buster driver. And then post-match, Melissa tells him that she doesn't know what's happened to him, but this is not the real him. We get the confrontation with him and Melissa and EDA Jr. Phoenix assaults EDA Jr., destroys him, hits him with the spinning muscle buster driver, which Stryker refers to as a Blackfire driver. And then I just have at the end, but yeah, EDA Jr. is dead. And then Antonio Cueto comes out and talks about how unfortunate it is that EDA Jr. is going to have to forfeit the Gift of the Gods title tonight since he can't fight. Dragon Azteca Jr. insists that he's going to fight, and Cueto makes the match right now and calls for the bell, and he gets pissy with Melissa when she doesn't do the announcements right away, and he's just like, Melissa, now! And then Marty comes out, and the bell rings, and we got the match and everything. But before the match did begin, the actual announcements, I just wanted to point out Melissa did a great job of really sounding exasperated. Like, her voice even kind of broke up when she said, like, it was like, the following match is for the Gift of the Gods Championship. Like, she really kind of broke up there towards the end, and it was really good. I thought she did a great job of really selling her exasperation there.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, in all seriousness, because I know like on live reactions and stuff, I really heal it up and I'm kind of a dick. But, you know, I've always loved Melissa Santos, and I've really got to give her credit. She's done a great job really kind of showing the wear and tear of this whole experience and what it's had on her. So yeah, this whole thing was just done superbly. So if you want to move on to our next segment, because I think this is where shit really starts to pick up here.
Oh yeah, up next is our second match, and it's El Dragon Azteca Jr. versus Marty the Moth Martinez. And I think my favorite part about before the match even starts is that Marty gets creepy bastard chants as soon as he enters the temple, like at the top of the temple steps. I thought that was hilarious. Vampiro, though, again, commentary doing a great job of bringing up narrative points. As Marty is walking down the temple steps, Vampiro points out a difference in Marty. He points out like different color shirt, basically pointing out that Marty went from a yellow shirt with black text to a black shirt with yellow text, and that he had his chin down and his eyes rolled up into the back of his head and stuff. Like, Vampiro really did a good job of selling that Marty was in the zone, or maybe even more of an aggressive person now than he was before when we saw him. So I thought that was a cool thing.
Dude, absolutely. I'm loving the commentary is kind of like putting over the new Marty. And we all know.
Yeah, like the biggest detriment to us doing live reactions to Lucha Underground is that we can't necessarily hear things like that.
Right, right. And, you know, even before he comes out, let's remember that Antonio Cueto comes out and says, like, oh, you know, Azteca, it seems like you can't compete. And originally, I was going to be frustrated because I'm like, oh, man, you know, this is supposed to be Marty's night because everybody in TWitWoW knows, like, what a big Marty the Moth fan I am. And then Antonio kind of swerves me and kind of the people in the temple. And he says, so if you can't compete, you're just going to have to forfeit. And I'm like, oh, shit, yes, get that title on Marty. But Azteca, of course, that babyface fighter, he's like, no, you know, I want to fight. And he's like, well, very well. It's going to be you versus Marty the Moth for the gift of the gods. And, you know, then obviously, like you said, Marty comes out and we have our match. And God, fuck, man, what is there to say? Marty the Moth picks the bones in a pretty solid back and forth match, given the circumstances of Azteca not being 100%.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny because Marty entered because he had 2 matches tonight. And he entered both of them with a huge advantage, and yet it still took him a minute and a half. Like, and I say that as, you know, like, you know, when I say a minute, it just kind of implies a long time. So the minute and a half implies an even longer time. But yeah, it just seems like it took him forever to beat these guys that were already weakened. So maybe Marty is going to be like, I mean, I hate to say it this way, but maybe Marty's going to be like a paper champion where he just can't beat guys straight up and he's going to constantly need interference to help or cheat or whatever it takes. But I don't know, man. It's interesting to me.
It is interesting, you know, and it was kind of frustrating, at least on the Azteca half, because obviously.
I just realized I called Marty a paper champion. He's literally a paper champion. Paper as in dollar bills.
It's so good to be so rich. Yeah, I mean, there was even a great hope spot in here with Azteca's satellite DDT. That I was like deathly afraid he was going to beat Marty, and they did a great job on the near fall. Because I think I even said on live reactions, like, "Oh fuck," you know, like made me have a heart attack. And you know, it was just a really fun match. Marty gets the win with his new finisher. It's the double arm underhook, but rather than a face buster, it's almost like an impaler DDT of sorts. I think it's really cool. What did you think about it, Ashton? Because I wanted to, I don't know if it's in your notes or what, but
I'll just read my notes. So Marty opened with a huge boot. He was really aggressive. He was kind of manhandling El Dragon Azteca Jr. for a little while. At one point, he even started cranking EDA's neck, like trying to break his neck, and then went to mask. El Dragon Azteca Jr. hit a great sequence where he shoved Marty off the top turnbuckle, hit a slingshot Rana on him, dove over the ring post in the corner, hit a top rope crossbody on his way to the ring, and then a satellite DDT, and Marty kicked out of that. So, like, at the very least, even if Marty's struggling to put these guys away, and the fact that EDA Jr. got that amount of offense on Marty in the first place is kind of ridiculous, he's still a tough son of a bitch to be able to take a kick out of all of that in a sequence. It was awesome.
Absolutely, yeah.
As far as the new finisher, though, I love it. I love, too, that Marty keeps the double underhook as a setup because that's the butterfly setup and he's the Moth tribe, you know, like it's perfect.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great point.
So yeah, the double underhook lift into an impaler DDT and it looks devastating. It's like it's an impaler DDT, but like it's almost more of like a vertical drop brain buster at that point. But yeah, dude, it looks great. It looks devastating. It looks like it would be really hard to even protect someone as far as actual wrestling goes. But yeah, man, Marty the Moth is the new Gift of the Gods champion at this point. And how deeply ironic is it that Phoenix, of all people, helped Marty to become Gift of the Gods champion?
Dude, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, damn, your notes really were, like, on point, because I didn't even think about that either. Holy shit.
Yeah,
goes
dude.
from beating him last Ultima Lucha to handing him, you know, pretty much the opportunity of a fucking lifetime. That is
I know, dude. That's right. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is fucking
It's
awesome.
amazing what a character change will do to someone because Phoenix, like normal Phoenix, would never allow this to happen.
No, I love this new Phoenix. What an asshole. So congratulations, Marty the Moth, on becoming new Gift of the Gods champion in a fun bout. That's all I could say about that. I guess we can move on.
All right. Well, up next was our Rabbit Tribe cinematic. I loved this. Killer Cross tells Paul, "It's time, you may enter." And then London comes in and says, "I've been waiting up there for a month." And then Cross tells Paul, time is but a flat circle. And then Paul London says about how he did good. Mala Suerte and Salvador failed their tribe, so he sacrificed them. It was a glorious display to show my affection for you. And then Killer Cross asks, where are these other two members? And then he's talking about, oh, I have an idea. El Bunny and I have been getting a little stir crazy down here. Maybe it's time for you to show us the way to the temple. Mr. London, lead the way. And then London just says, with pleasure. And then we get, that's it. That's the segment. I love it.
What a crazy turn of events for this fucking tribe.
I love it, dude.
Because, like, originally, I really did think, and not even in a bad way, because I love how Lucha Underground does comedy, but I thought they were like a comic foil, you know, comedy relief with their storylines. But to know that they actually have one of the darkest storylines this season, I mean, bravo, Lucha Underground. Because, my God, like, I did not expect this tonal shift. It's probably one of the sharpest and most violent on a multitude of levels, mind you, that I've seen in some time. And, I mean, Killer Cross, clearly a True Detective fan with the whole time as a flat circle reference. So I dig it, +5. And El Bunny, Masquerita getting a character change too, man. It is so fucking welcome. Like, I liked Masquerita. In fact, I think I've even said on the podcast that, like, he's a mini that actually brings respectability to that style and just being a competitor of that stature. But, like, this character change is also welcome because he seems, like, crazed out of his goddamn mind. Like, all he's done in that cage is just laugh. And the laugh itself, like, is just so goosebump inducing. Like, I kind of, like, tense up, you know, like, what terror is coming down the pipe. And, yeah, I can't wait to see this new Rabbit Tribe. I think we're looking at future trios champions.
Yeah, so that's entirely possible. Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually kind of pulling for them to win the trios titles, believe it or not. So yeah, that'd be cool. Anyway, once we get past the Rabbit Tribe stuff, though, we do get into our what is supposed to be our main event of the evening: King Cuerno, Mil Muertes, and Pentagon Dark. And this match was okay. I mean, it had the makings of being good, but it got cut so short, I felt.
Yeah, dude, I agree with you because you had all the elements there. I mean, literally 3 of the best workers in Lucha Underground in one match. Even if I am over Pentagon Dark, I can't deny how great he is as a character, and he's definitely solid in ring. Mill's ability is undeniable, and King Cuerno is just so technically perfect. Like, to me, he's the closest thing because they always have like Bret Hart and guys like him as the standard bearers. As far as like people that execute and it just looks so clean and so good, King Cuerno to me is the closest approximation to that in Lucha Underground. Yeah. So just 3 exemplary workers in their own ways. And yeah, I don't think this match got enough time, which makes sense given what happened after. Obviously, I'm not dragging Lucha Underground for that. But you get a triple threat like this. I mean, you expect carnage everywhere and just everything happening, and it seemed pretty self-contained. Again, I get it, so it's not a harsh criticism, just really an honest observation at the end of the day. Yeah, not really much. I mean, Mill dominated in the early going. Obviously, he was going to be the threat. Pentagon Dark and Cuerno teaming up. Pentagon revealed himself to be a dick early on because, you know, we thought he was going to allow Cuerno to do the arrow from the depths of hell, that tope suicida he does. And then Pentagon just kind of kicks him in the gut and just stops him. And then, you know, Pentagon does a dive. But then Cuerno does the arrow from the depths of hell to Pentagon Dark. And really, dude, I got to be honest with you, too. Not only was this match self-contained, which that really wasn't a criticism in my mind, but this is Pentagon, which is why I was even happier about how this episode ended. It's really kind of disgusting how OP this man is. Because the way he took out Mill with the backstabbers, like, I guess that's well enough. But he just so
dude, he literally took Mill out of the equation completely with 2 lung blowers. That's it. Just 2 lung blowers, and Mill is just way too incapacitated to even break up a goddamn pinfall.
Yeah, and then the idea that he just got the fear factor off so easily on Cuerno, I just found the whole thing disgusting. I
mean, admittedly, I won't go as far as to say disgusting. That feels a little hyperbolic, but it is definitely a little gross.
Well, I mean, dude, he's just so OP, though. And, like, yeah, it might be hyperbolic, but you got to understand, too, this isn't just, like, a self-contained thing. Right. This is coming from a long line of him just being, like, OP to me or just having certain tendencies, like, in the ring that just kind of make me roll my eyes. So, I'll dial it back a bit and I'll say like, it was just gross to me. But regardless, I am just so happy that this piece of shit's reign is over, which we can get to now. I mean, unless you want to go through your notes about this match.
Well, I don't really have tons of notes about the match. I have that Mill dominated out the gate. They did the double team onto him to send him out of the ring. You already mentioned Pentagon preventing Cuerno from hitting the arrow from the depths of hell and then getting to eat it himself. Mill ripped Pentagon's mask yet again. I feel like Mill's whole shtick is just he rips masks. Mill and Pentagon went at it for a bit. Pentagon got the upper hand, did a top rope double stomp for a 2 count. That was pretty cool. Cuerno did a sunset flip and then a knee to the face and then a thrill of the hunt on Pentagon. But then Mill breaks up the pin. And the thing is, like, Mill, once he broke up the pin, he went for that, like, spinning choke slam, and he hit it on Cuerno. But then, like, normally you would expect him to just stay in that position with his hand on the throat, and the referee would just count. But he stood up, and then he acted like he was going to go for the pin, and then he stood up again, and that was when Pentagon hit him with the first lung blower, the first of 2. Because then Pentagon, like, he hit him with the lung blower, and then he hit the fear factor, and then he hit him with, like, another lung blower or something, and then I think he went with a pin. I don't know the exact order of the way things happened, but yeah, like, anyway, Pentagon won the match. He pinned Cuerno to do it after 1 fear factor, and then post-match, we got to Marty beating the absolute shit out of Pentagon and hitting him with basically every finisher he's ever had.
Yeah. Because he got the didn't he do the face buster for this one? Because I know he did the curb stomp, but I don't know if he did the face buster variation or if he did the impaler.
No, I'm pretty sure he did the new one, the DDT.
Yeah, so like you said though, he even like hit Pentagon in the face with the Gift of the Gods championship. So
no, he hit him at the face with the world title, with Pentagon's title at this point.
With Pentagon's title. Okay, but yeah, either way, it was like a belt shot that he did, and like laying Pentagon out. Then we get Antonio coming out. Pretty much saying that Marty made a very convincing argument. And I guess now this is going to be the new canon as long as Antonio's running the temple.
Yeah, that's kind of how I came away with it as well. As long as Antonio Cueto is the man in charge, the Gift of the Gods title can be exchanged for a Lucha Underground World title match anytime the holder wants now. And Marty chooses that right now.
And, like, I know Dragon Man in particular, I remember his comments and live reactions where he's like, I don't know how to feel about this. It just feels like Money in the Bank to me. But you know what? Like, looking big picture, not just at this one episode, but the whole process of Gift of the Gods this season, I can dig it. Like, it makes sense to me that Antonio coming in, he would want to uproot everything that his son did. Like, he doesn't want any associations with his son Dario at all. So, narratively speaking, even if we don't like the change on a personal level, I can't hold it against them on a more structural level, like how they produce the show and how they position the show and just exhibit it to everybody. It makes sense to me. I think it has that logical consistency again of Antonio being, he's so anti-Dario, he wouldn't even allow like the funeral or whatever, or like the mourning process to go on too long. He's like, all right, this is enough. Let's get on with it. So it's been very clearly established since the early part of the season. I know we've given shit to season 4 for quite a bit of stuff. This is not something I'm gonna dock points from. This is fine with me. I mean, what did you think about it? Because like I could understand Dragon Man's position, but I could also understand like why Lucha Underground did this. So I'm wondering where you kind of fall on this whole thing.
I definitely see where you're coming from as far as him just wanting to kind of do away with any and all remnants of Dario, but I still miss Dario, man. I'm hanging on to hope that he's not really dead.
Yeah, I think we all are, bud. You watch at the end of season 4, they're gonna like pan to him like he's in hiding or something, and like then he's gonna like do a revolt or something in season 5 or something. Here's to hoping. But yeah, like I am just so fucking happy for Marty that he's champion. Because he did the cash in, and obviously it was success. I mean, it took some freaking work because Pentagon. You talked about all the offense that he hit on Pentagon Dark. He still kicked out with the initial pin, and like it was still a bit of a back and forth. But then when it seemed like Pentagon was about to turn the tide, we get the debut of a new luchadora. It's Chelsea Green.
And I will say, Stryker did say he referred to her as this Black Widow. So maybe Black Widow is going to be what we know her as in Lucha Underground. But prior to Lucha Underground, we knew her as Chelsea Green, and in certain promotions, Laurel Van Ness. So, you know, she's made a name for herself on the I won't say the indie scene, because I guess Impact is definitely not an indie, but she has made a name for herself outside of both WWE and Lucha Underground. So good for her. And hey man, from what I know, she's pretty damn good in the ring. And as far as her actual acting goes, I'm not a huge fan of the Laurel Van Ness character. I just feel like it's over the top. But she looked great here. It looked like she knew what she was doing. She knew her character, and she played it well.
And here's the thing, dude. In her defense, if you're gonna be over the top, what better place than Lucha Underground?
That's true. Yeah. That's also true. Yeah.
I mean, look at the stuff that Marty's done that I know has made you look away, or you've even said like, "Oh, that was maybe a bit much." Like, she is a perfect fit for him. Like, she's going to be able to match his energy.
Oh God, you're totally wow. Yeah, this pairing just got better than I even realized. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, like that's why I'm so excited about, first of all, anybody that debuts.
I mean, dude, the thing is, like, I love Mariposa. You know, I love cheerleader Melissa, but like this is a better match for Marty than her.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Because here's the thing. What I love about this, he doesn't, how can I put this? He doesn't need somebody to rein him in like that way. He needs somebody that can feed off of his energy and amplify it. And I feel like that's what Black Widow does. And that's why I fucking already love this pair. I mean, again, first of all, anybody that can debut by low-blowing Pentagon Dark, instantly in love. Like, thank you so much, Black Widow. And then Marty hits the fear factor and pins Pentagon. I love to, like, I'm sorry, but I love that Pentagon's so OP. I can kick out of all your finishers except my own, because mine's the best. And Marty knew that, and he used Pentagon Dark's own finisher to beat him. Like,
that was great too. I love that Marty beat Pentagon with the fear factor.
Yeah, and then like just him and Black Widow celebrating. I mean, already you look at like the aesthetic. It's the same way as when Taya debuted. It's like, what a great fucking fit. And they've done it again here for Marty. Yep. He had Marty Elias put the belt around his waist, which was an amazing fucking visual. And dude, like, let me see again, because you always put it in the reviews. This was episode 15. So we've got 7 episodes left, right?
Yep.
Like, when we're putting together an Ultima Lucha Quattro card, first of all, is Marty even the champion going into Ultima Lucha? Like, I would personally hope so.
I mean, yeah, you would hope so, but the thing is, like, I feel like if he isn't champion, he would be at least getting his championship rematch at Ultima Lucha. So I still feel like he's going to be competing for the world title, even if he doesn't walk into Ultima Lucha Quattro as champion.
Right. Personally, I hope he has a good run with the championship. I'd love to see him main event Ultima Lucha Quattro, because he came in to Lucha Underground, you know, as like this crazed fan and like, oh, I've got, you know, moth blood in my veins and this and that. And now he's the guy. Like what a full circle journey. And if he gets to main event Ultima Lucha, that'd be so fucking cool. I mean, where my mind instantly goes, dude, honestly, is Marty versus Pentagon in a Cero Miedo match for the Lucha Underground Championship.
Oh, God.
That's immediately where my mind goes for the main event.
But you know what, though? I mean, if they did that, I would almost feel like that would be Pentagon's rematch. That would be like the match that Pentagon's trying to get his shit in.
Yeah. And see, like...
I mean, I guess if Pentagon did win the title back and Marty wanted his rematch, Pentagon would be like, if you want your rematch, you're going to have to do it by my rules, bitch.
Yeah. See, dude, and the reason why, like, I say it would be good, like, for, like, Pentagon's rematch, Marty beating Pentagon in his own backyard would be a huge stamp of, like, legitimate, you know, validation, I guess. I was going to say legitimizing, but, you know, I'll have to use that.
Yeah, definitely.
For Marty, because it's like, not to use a WWE parallel here, but it's like when Randy Orton in 2004 as Intercontinental Champion beat Mick Foley in a hardcore, you know, no holds barred, you know, kind of matchup. When he beat Mick in his wheelhouse, everybody started looking at him differently. Now, Marty's already in the main event because he's the world fucking champion. But, like, if you want to take that reign seriously, what better way than to be Pentagon Dark in a Cero Miedo match? And let's think about it, too. because dude, there's so much to unpack with this, maybe even more than we realize on both ends, on both Marty's end as the champion and Pentagon as the ex-champion. We know that Vampiro answers to a higher up that wants to see Pentagon fall. Now that Pentagon no longer has the world title, could that person emerge to take Pentagon down? Or is he going to try and take him down in the rematch when Pentagon feels like he has victory?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't forgotten about him. I don't think you've forgotten him. I don't think anybody.
No, dude. Even just last night when we saw Vampiro, I was thinking like, I wonder what his master is up to now that we know he has one. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, if we're gonna see him at all, if we're gonna see the master at all this season, if it's gonna be like one of those like final 5 minutes at the last episode of the season kind of moments.
Right. And here's the thing too, we have to remember. On the Marty side, I'm going to kind of oscillate if I can between Pentagon Dark and Marty as far as like the thoughts in my head.
Just 1 second before you do that. I also feel like we haven't found out who the Lord is yet. So that's another character looming in the background.
That is true. And you got to wonder if the Lord's going to have any issue with Antonio, because Antonio's gotten pretty comfortable in the temple at this point. But on Marty's side with Black Widow, God, I love that. I love that fucking pairing. Like we mentioned Mariposa didn't like that Marty was so preoccupied with Melissa, but she wasn't anywhere near ensconced in his life. If anything, Melissa didn't want anything to do with Marty. Black Widow's a part of this. Like, she clearly is into this. I wonder if there's going to be any jealousy between, like, Mariposa and Black Widow, because they both have their own weird possessiveness of Marty. And I wonder
the thing is, like, obviously, the Moth Tribe is the Moth Tribe and not the Insect Tribe, but I wonder if Black Widow was sent by Mariposa to help Marty.
Maybe. Like,
the thing is, like, we used to think it was just the Snake Tribe, and it turned out to be the Reptile Tribe. And obviously, they're not going to change the Moth Tribe to an Insect Tribe because they do have a moth on the medallion and everything. But still, what if the Moth Tribe is just a more general term for what could essentially be referred to as an Insect Tribe? I mean, we already have a butterfly in there. That butterfly is not a moth, so we might as well just go a little further and just say, yeah, maybe a spider, a Black Widow, could fit into the Moth Tribe as well, and maybe Mariposa sent Black Widow. Maybe she doesn't even know about Black Widow. We don't know that. We're gonna find out hopefully within the next couple of weeks, because I really want to know A, where Black Widow came from, and B, like you and Jason have been talking about, how Mariposa is gonna handle Black Widow if she didn't know about her before. That's going to be interesting too.
Yeah, the dynamics of that relationship need to be fleshed out for me.
And I'm sure they will be over the course of the next probably like month.
And again, just to bring it back to Ultima Lucha Quattro, I am fully expecting. Now, Lucha Underground, obviously my expectations are usually surpassed with Lucha Underground, so it wouldn't surprise me if they had something better in mind, but I'm already like bookending that this is Cero Miedo, Marty the Moth, Pentagon Dark, Marty the Moth goes over to really legitimize his reign, and then Pentagon could transition into the feud with whoever Vampiro is answering to, because that's still a big time feud. He wouldn't even need the world title at that point, but you need to get Marty's title reign off right, because I'm not saying...
Dude, how great would it be if it was like an unmasked Dr. Wagner Jr.?
Oh, wow. That would be something.
Silver Fox.
Yeah, that handsome son of a bitch. So that's possible. I mean, dude, I'm just thinking about people that Marty can feud with. If Phoenix ever regains himself, that's fine. Dude, I wish Killshot was a face just in this one instance, because he could revisit his feud with Marty for the Lucha Underground title this time.
Yep.
If Black Widow, like if that is going to be the Spider Woman, and she talks about like how she got rid of Sexy Star, that makes the dynamic work too, because who was the last person to really torment Sexy Star? Marty and Mariposa. Yep. Yeah. So, God, this works on so many levels. I fucking love this shit. The big question is, who does Marty even drop the title to? I wonder what babyface is gonna like be built.
Is there a better option than Dante Fox?
Dude, I don't think so, man. Because again, Killshot is a heel now. Otherwise, he'd be my immediate go-to.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because like Dante Fox kind of had a face turn at the end of last season, so maybe when he comes back, he and Killshot are at odds again, because Dante is a good guy now, and Killshot like went to the dark side.
Yeah,
Dante could be like the good guy who goes after Marty. And I don't know, maybe not. Maybe, I mean, Jason had a great suggestion in chat. Maybe Cage.
Dude, Cage finally getting his win at the expense of Marty. I mean, two guys that I love, and then Cage could finally get his first run. I know.
Oh, dude, Mundo too. Mundo's a face.
And I was thinking of here's why I'm both thinking about Mundo and not thinking about Mundo. I'm thinking about Mundo because it's fucking Mundo. Of course I am.
Right.
But like, to me, I'm really loving that Lucha Underground is making newer champions. And we've only ever had one repeat in the belt's history, and that is Prince Puma, which was understandable because it was fucking Prince Puma. So I wouldn't mind Johnny Mundo being a repeat. Obviously, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, but I really would love like a better built-up babyface. It kind of frustrates me that Son of Havoc, at least in my opinion, actually has lost some momentum recently. Otherwise, I'd want him in the conversation. Somebody mentioned the Mac. I mean, the Mac was very close with Sexy, so when he finds out the Black Widow like is why Sexy's no longer here, he may
that's a good point too.
Yeah, the Mac I think would be a worthwhile contender. It's like, look, I love Johnny, but he's already doing great stuff with Ricky Mandel, and I'm hoping that he can really legitimize Ricky as like a top heel in the Temple. So I don't mind him being away from the world title, which imagine those words coming out of my mouth. But I really do want like fresh babyface challengers. Hell,
God, this right here though, this situation pisses me off that much more than Angelico isn't around anymore because he'd be perfect,
dude.
Right though.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, here's the thing with Lucha Underground, because I'm gonna be very curious. Has season 5 is like that guaranteed, or is that up in the air?
Well, I think Marty Elias, I want to say, or one of the referees, I think. I don't know if it was Marty Elias or Justin Borden or Rick Knox or whoever. I think one of them said on a podcast, like they were talking and they said something about season 5, almost as if to imply that it's basically already a done deal. So there are kind of already some pretty strong rumors that season 5 is all but guaranteed, but I don't like to count my chickens before they hatch. I'm just going to go forward hoping that it's a thing while assuming the worst, like hope for the best, assume the worst, that kind of thing.
Right. No, I'm right there with you, man. I completely agree. That's why I'm very tentative, like, in even putting stuff out there, because I'll put it like this. If season 5 is happening, it could even be.
And by hope for the best, I mean hope for a 52 episode season with 90-minute episodes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude, they need the time, because really, here's the thing too. They finally found their groove in season 4. Imagine what season 4 could have been with these same plot points, but with like more room to breathe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, this really could have been a standout season, and I really don't blame the writers.
And the thing is, like, I would say the arc that we're on right now is still going to go down as a standout arc. It's just that like the first 12 episodes of the season felt so not like Lucha Underground, you know?
Yeah, they were really like meandering until they got to the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
Which again, I don't really blame the right. I think it's purely a structural issue, personally. Yeah. They need a better partner, and I don't even really care about being explicitly advocating that. Like, El Rey sucks. They need a better partner.
I mean, I don't want to say El Rey sucks, because El Rey is how Lucha Underground got their start in the first place, but El Rey has definitely done a lot to fuck with Lucha Underground, whether it was the long ass like 4 or 5 month break in the middle of season 3, or going to Lucha Underground writers or officials or whoever it was and saying, hey, we want more episodes on the last day of tapings of season 4. Like, yeah, like El Rey needs to get their shit together. And if Lucha Underground is going to get a season 5 and it's not going to be on the El Rey network, maybe that is for the best. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm just saying, look, they gave them their start, and I can appreciate that. But you know what? I've had other great shows that I've loved where a network gave them their start, but then the relationship sours and they went somewhere else. I think, look, as long as you preserve the show, that's the top priority. And this season, now they're hitting a groove, and it's great. But I really want season 5 to be unimpeded by any bullshit, because they really.
How great would it be if we actually got a season 5 that didn't have a long ass break in the middle of it, and was actually allowed to get some time to be able to tell their full stories? Like, that would be it would be the best season since season 1, probably.
Yeah. No, without question, dude. Without question. And
the thing is, like, in hindsight, I think season 3 on the whole was better than season 1, but the experience of season 3 was way worse than the experience of season 1 because of the big break in the middle.
Exactly. Because then the energy, it was just bound to dip. But if they just kept it going, that's why they really hit their groove at the right time, because now they're just going to finish it through up until Ultima Lucha.
I mean, a lot of people are saying Lucha going to Spike would be nice, but I would rather Lucha go to like Netflix or FX or like AMC or Sci-Fi even. Like Sci-Fi is perfect for Lucha Underground.
Yeah, Sci-Fi, it was weird when they hosted SmackDown for that time that they did. I think Lucha Underground's aesthetic and their approach.
Yeah, like Sci-Fi has already had their toes dipped in the wrestling waters, and they got like a washed out product that wasn't Sci-Fi at all. Like, I remember ECW, like the original WWE version of ECW had a run on Sci-Fi too, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
And that's why they did the fucking zombie character, was to make it more science fiction-y. But like Lucha Underground doesn't need to try harder to be more science fiction-y. They already are sci-fi as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So that would even be a good fit. Yeah, I want them to have a new parent network personally. I'll be grateful to El Rey for kind of jump-starting it, but just because you jump-start it doesn't mean you own it. Like there's a lot of genius here, and it just needs to be unfettered by the structural BS that clearly got in the way this season. And I look at the positioning. I mean, you've got Marty the Moth as Lucha Underground champion. You've got the Reptile Tribe as trios champions with some worthwhile contenders, waiting in the wings, especially with this Dark Rabbit Tribe. So we can even like flash forward, because I'm assuming that the Dark Rabbit Tribe is going to be trios champions. Yeah. We got this new Luchadora and Black Widow, which is extremely welcome. They've really got a lot of pieces in play. I hope it goes well for them. And honestly, I'm so happy for Marty, because I know, again, I hope he goes back later and he listens to this. Like, he's worked so hard. I think his body of work has been consistently great. I think he really exemplifies what Lucha Underground is all about. Like, it's just this craziness turned up to 11. And it's really amazing to watch. I think he could be a phenomenal Lucha Underground champion if they just really play their cards right. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the end game, because already 2 matches that I could see happening at Ultima Lucha Quadro if they'd want to do it then, because you never know what they want to do on their TV product, and then just their week to week, and then their big event. Marty the Moth versus Pentagon Dark, Cero Miedo. I've already said that.
Oh yeah, and that was the other thing that I wanted to bring up. We were talking about who the potential next champion would be. I think if Vegas odds were a thing for Lucha Underground, the odds-on favorite to be the next Lucha Underground champion right now would just be Pentagon Dark. I think he might win it back.
Yeah. I mean that makes all the sense in the world to me with how OP he is. It makes perfect sense, in that context, for him to be the second ever 2-time Lucha Underground champion.
Yeah.
But the other match,
who was the first ever? Puma.
Puma, yeah. But the other match I could see happening, Ultima Lucha Quadro, just with the way they've been setting the table, I fully expect Killshot versus Son of Havoc, Mask versus Mask.
I wonder if there's going to be like a stipulation of that, like I quit or last luchador standing or something like that, or if it's just going to be straight up like street fight style, mask versus mask, beat the shit out of your opponent until you pin them and then you get their mask.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Let me ask you a question though, John. If they do go through with a mask versus mask match between those guys, given that neither one of them wears a mask outside of Lucha Underground, who would you have lose that?
Personally,
it would almost have to be Killshot, right?
I guess Killshot, because look, with the turn, it would be like shedding the skin of his old identity.
Yeah. And like the thing is, like Shane Strickland looks a lot more like Killshot than Matt Cross looks like Son of Havoc. Like Son of Havoc feels like so much more of a different character to Matt Cross than Killshot to Shane Strickland. Because Killshot and Shane Strickland feel like the same guy, just one of them wears a mask. Whereas with Son of Havoc and Matt Cross, they feel like such completely different identities to me.
Yeah, and I can even tell you, just going on Shane Strickland's Twitter and just looking at him unmasked, like his profile photo, he's got a great heel look to me. Because I'm seeing him rocking the shades and the braids, and I'm like, dude, I am feeling this. Like, that is a cocky guy with a lot of swagger that knows what he's about. So I would go with Havoc getting the win, especially because I would like him to have a bit of a kinder history at Ultima Lucha, given what happened last year. Or actually, no, I think that was Ultima Lucha Dos, because he was vying to main event Ultima Lucha Trace. And then what even was his Ultima Lucha Trace? Was he even on the card? He must have been on the card. No, yeah. No.
Are you talking about Son of Havoc?
Yeah, Son of Havoc, yeah.
Oh, God. Was he on the Ultima Lucha Trace card?
God, to go from a potentially main eventing
match. I don't remember.
Wow. He might have been in the Battle Royal. I don't know.
Was there a Battle Royal at the Lucha Trace?
Yeah, because wasn't that where fucking Mac won it and he got the trios title matchup? So like,
yeah. Pentagon versus they were it was the Gift of the Gods thing, because you got to remember the big actual like Gift of the Gods match happened on television before. Well, it's all on television, but it happened before Ultima Lucha, and Pentagon and Son of Havoc tied. Remember, they both got pinfall victories in the Gift of the Gods match to win the Gift of the Gods. So then Dario came out and made a ladder match for the Gift of the Gods title at Ultima Lucha, and we got them against each other. Because remember, that was the one where Pentagon did the Fear Factor through a bunch of chairs, and then rather than just winning the match at that point, he decided he had to get his shit in and do some more shit, knock Son of Havoc off of a ladder through a table or whatever it was.
Right.
We were both so disappointed in that match because of how much extra Pentagon decided to be.
Yeah, and see, that's why I'm saying, like, I think Son of Havoc needs some more positive associations with Ultima Lucha, because he lost that ladder match, and then season 2, we know how abysmal that was.
Yeah, he's never won at Ultima Lucha before. He remember the first Ultima Lucha, he, Ivelisse, and Angelico lost their trios titles to the Disciples of Death. Second one, like you just mentioned, he lost to he did really, really well until he came across his third match in one night and lost to Bobby. God damn it! I almost said Bobby Wagner. That's a football player. Dr. Wagner Jr. And then the third one he lost Gift of the Gods ladder match to Pentagon. So he's never won at Ultima Lucha before. Yeah,
dude, I'm just looking at Shane Strickland's aesthetic when he's unmasked, and he's rocking these shades and this jacket, and I'm like, this dude's a fucking boss.
I hope that if he does get unmasked, and really either one of these guys, I hope that if they do the mask versus mask, whoever loses their mask, I hope that they keep their Lucha Underground name. Like, I still want him to be Killshot, or I still want him to be Son of Havoc. Either way, I don't want them to go to being Shane Strickland or Matt Cross or whatever their in-universe real names are in Lucha Underground. I want them to keep their luchador names, even if they don't have the mask.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't start calling Superfly something else just because he lost his mask in Lucha Underground. He was still Superfly, you know?
Yeah, and given that precedent, I don't see why they'd change the name then. I think this will be just fine. And now that we really kind of talked about that, I definitely think that Killshot should be the one to lose his mask. Give Son of Havoc a nice Ultima Lucha win, and really you start positioning Killshot as a guy, because I'll tell you what, for as happy as I am about Marty, I know the machine keeps on turning, and you got to think about future champions. Killshot would make one hell of a heel champion, depending on the babyface that would beat Marty for it. Like, that guy could carry the company on his fucking back, the same way I said about Dante. Like, when you're just that talented, if you're given the ball, a touchdown is a guarantee. Yeah. So, and I guess, we had a nice expositional discussion really just about the future of LU, but we're not even formally done this review because we got one other segment. So before that, though, do you have anything else you want to say about anything we've talked about here?
What other? Oh, you're talking about another TWitWoW segment, not another actual episode segment. No, I'm good. We can move on.
All right, guys. Our next segment is high spots and low shots. But before I get to that, just very quickly want to do the plugs. Our all Lucha Underground content ever playlist. I've been noticing, new people in the chat for our Lucha Underground reviews. It's wonderful to have you. Welcome to your new favorite wrestling podcast. If you want to catch up to speed on all things Lucha Underground and all things Lucha Underground from TWitWoW's perspective, you can find it all right here in the All Lucha Underground Content Ever playlist. Please check that out. Follow both Ashton and myself on Twitter. Ashton's pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule for the month of September, so you know all the recordings that we're doing for that month, any additions, subtractions, whatever, for our recording schedule for the month, always gets recorded in the schedule, so be sure to check that out. My pinned tweet is to collect Q&A questions. Q&A is 1 week from today. We do it the last Thursday of every month. That happens to fall on September 27th this month. So if you have not done so yet, please get your questions in for Q&A. Again, you could reply to my pinned tweet. You can DM me personally. You can send your questions to the TWitWoW Facebook. Be sure to like the page if you visit it. You can even comment on this video when it's done processing with your Q&A questions. Everybody's permitted up to 4 questions per Q&A, and you can divide them up however you like. So please participate. You got 1 week. Check out our Teespring store. We have all sorts of offerings, things from Scum Squad merch like mugs and stickers, all the way to wrestling shirts like Tranquilo or an Emma shirt, the real face of the women's revolution. A lot of cool offerings on our Teespring. And, you know, we know you guys love the shirts because you've been coming up with some zany ideas. You never know what you're going to find in the Teespring store. So check it out and see what you like. Finally, the Patreon. Guys, we have projects that we love to do here on Team TWitWoW, and it's always made a lot better with your support. Longtime viewers, you guys know that we were doing Progress Live reactions. Those have been shelved, but we've now undertaken doing SmackDown Live and 205 live reactions, and those come out to a value of $120 a month, the same way as Progress. So if you want to keep that going, the best way you can contribute, and in my mind, the most fun way you can contribute if you want to get a lot out of it for yourself, is donating $3 to the TWitWoW Discord, the ultimate fan server. The most passionate TWitWoW fans congregate there. We talk about all sorts of stuff, from wrestling to music to video games to just really the world. Like, oh, did you see what this person tweeted? Like, what a fucking mark, am I right? And we talk about everything. Nothing is off limits there. So I think the TWitWoW Discord is a really fun space. And not only that, if you keep up your $3 donation through the months, those $3 accrue, and soon you'll have enough money to cash in for a live reaction to a 3-hour show. You pretty much get to request content for the TWitWoW channel. We've done several Patreon requests on the channel before. And in fact, the next 2 days, Friday and Saturday, we've got Patreon requests coming. So you even get a fresher idea of how we do this. So please consider donating. I think it's wonderful for everybody involved. I call it a win-win-win-win. And I thank you all for your time. So now we can get to our closing segment, high spots and low shots. I'm going to say that my low shot is El Dragon Azteca Jr. because he still hasn't gotten the girl and he no longer has a championship. So way to fuck it up for yourself, EDA.
Dude, I love that you made him your low shot because I had two names in mind to be low shots tonight. And I think either one of them had a legitimate argument. And the thing with Azteca is he brought this shit upon himself. He's the one that chose to stick his neck out there for Melissa to be the fucking white knight that Phoenix used to be. And it cost him his gift of the gods title. So congratulations. You're probably not getting laid either, you jackass.
Yeah.
But the other low shot that I had in mind might even be more of a low shot because this guy thought that he did a good thing. He thought that he did his job and was successful for the night, and then it all came crashing down on him. And I take much more joy in this because my low shot is Pentagon Dark because you thought, first of all, the big problem is that you thought in the first place, but you thought that you did your job. You thought you were successful on the night. You thought, oh, that's it. I get to wipe my hands of Mil and Cuerno. I won this match, even though I'm an OP piece of shit who never should have won that easily in the first place. And then your demise. Marty the Moth Martinez comes out, beats the shit out of you, and then Antonio Cueto makes it a match, and Marty picks up the W. You might have put up a little bit of a fight, but at the end of the day, you are no longer the Lucha Underground champion. You were never my Lucha Underground champion in the first place, but now it's official. Marty the Moth Martinez. I think we are going to share his high spot here, by the way.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Because, I mean, look, not to drag anybody else last night, but I think to pick anybody other than Marty would be disingenuous.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, Phoenix didn't really do anything high spot worthy. He won a match and he beat someone down. He would be a close second place, but at the same time, him beating somebody down caused one of his longest standing rivals to become the Lucha Underground champion in the long run. So Phoenix might have felt good about himself early on in the night, but he got really fucked by the end of the night. So even Phoenix being a second best option for high spot is still a distant second as a high spot because Marty the Moth Martinez had far and away the best night, and he made everyone else's nights worse by doing so.
Right. I mean, the only other person but you would have to strain to make this work to me, that I would make an argument for high spot that isn't Marty would be Paul London. Because now he's going to be able to team with El Bunny and the White Rabbit and eventually win Trios Gold. But we'll give them their high spot when they actually do it, though. Exactly. I mean, Marty cleaned house. Marty the Moth is easily Marty entered the day as just a guy that's a few grand
poorer than he was before because he gave up all that money to Cueto. And he left the night as your Lucha Underground goddamn champion and a former Gift of the Gods champion. So now he's a trios title away from being a triple crown too.
I mean, it was an amazing display of his wealth when he bribed his way into this match. And then his ability just capitalized on it. Like, Marty has been a character in the temple for the longest time. And what I love about Lucha Underground is they know who their workhorses are. They know who their mainstays are. People that, have been grinding with them from early on. And they get their nod. That's why I really haven't lost hope that Cage will get his nod one day. Or that Son of Havoc will. These guys, I'm trusting, and Killshot. I think Killshot's really kind of leapfrogged to the front of the line personally. But it's amazing. It's amazing that hard work in this promotion. For any misgivings I might have had about season 4 specifically, Lucha Underground as a whole, one reason why I love it so much, and you guys see me get up here and Ashton get up here and advocate for it so much, is I love that hard work actually gets rewarded. It genuinely feels like a meritocracy to me a lot of the time. And I'm just so happy for Marty. He's worked his ass off for it. I hope he has a great run. Even if it ends early on in season 5, because I could see him ending season 4 still the champion. That's what I'm hoping for. But even if early season 5, he loses the title, just the idea that he got a run, I just think is the coolest shit. So I am so happy for him. And he's got a new manager, which I think fucking awesome. And she's not afraid to get physical. Clearly, she low-blowed Pentagon Dark, which tells me, dude, here's another thing. In the lead-up to Ultimate Lucha Quadro, if we do Marty versus Pentagon Dark, we'll definitely have a match on Lucha Underground that's just Pentagon Dark versus Black Widow. And that should be interesting as well. So we know we want more intergender matches. I think that'd be a great way to start. I'm just so excited about everything. This was like the shockwave that I think Lucha needed. Pentagon had a strong run, and they definitely went out of their way to protect him. And I can guarantee you he'll probably win the title again in the future, but this is Marty's time, and he's more than earned it. So easy high spot.
Yeah, man. And that's our first shared high spot in easily months, what might even end up being years. I don't know the last time you and I shared a high spot before.
Yeah, it feels like a long time, because even last night when I feel like we were about to share one, because you said, well, actually, I think that was more low shot. But yeah, it was just you found somebody better to go with. But yeah, I knew inevitably we were probably going to share a high spot here because, again, his night was undeniable. So
yep.
I've got nothing more to say about it. Do you?
No, sir. Let's get into I guess all that's left is the outro, right?
Yeah, I'm the one taking us home this time now, so you can.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember to like them. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, man.
No, you probably would have done a better job than me anyway, but no. All right, guys, this has been Lucha Underground. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my co-word commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to comment on this video when it's done processing. What do you think about the era of the Moth? I'm not just asking, are you down with it? Do you not like Marty? I mean, I want to hear that too. But, what do you think the grand plan is? Do you agree with me that the main event of Ultimate Lucha Quattro is going to be Marty versus Pentagon Dark in a Cero Miedo match?
Dude, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. He loves it. He's down. What do you think the main event's going to be? If not that, do you think I'm wrong? Ultimately, who do you think will be the babyface that upends Marty's reign, if it's a babyface at all? Ooh. What do you guys think about Black Widow? What do you guys think about this new Rabbit Tribe? Talk to us. Lucha Underground has found its footing, baby, and it's beautiful. It is freaking phenomenal. And yeah, I'm friends with all of it. Guys, be sure to like the video. The more likes you leave, the more likely we are to be the top search result for Lucha Underground reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong. So please leave that like. Subscribe to your new favorite wrestling podcast if you haven't, and click the bell icon for notifications so that you never again have to miss when TWitWoW goes live and miss out on that sweet commentary goodness. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for a Patreon request. And I believe that this is a Storyteller West's Patreon request, right, Ashton? It's an NEW show. Correct?
Yeah, it's NEW Under the Stars Bristol.
Damn, Under the Stars Bristol. I guess we're getting ready to do some stargazing, guys. Should be a fun time. It makes me wonder how stacked the card is. But regardless, be here at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Goes for you as well, Wes, for your Patreon request. And let's just have some fun with the fandom of Wes and NEW. Should be a great time. Until then, guys, tune in and peace out.